Congratulations, Julia. You are the winner of Total Drama Island.
Yes! I knew I would win. See, Chris, I told you this season would have the best ending ever. Ratings are up, and a season 3 will come soon. Now I don't need to return to season 3. Goodbye, everyone. I'm gonna buy a MK cutout and put it in my room.
Hold on. I will make sure that you don't get any of that money. After what you did to me, you deserve none of it.
Oh my god, wow. Nichelle, I love your new look. Where did you find it? In Garbage Land? Totally matches with your career.
Well, at least I'm not you. I am proud of who I am. You are mean, vicious, evil, a cheater, and basic looking. There is nothing you have that I want.
Unlike you, I actually have hair. Sorry, but no, Nichelle will not go bald. Even if it would be iconic and make her more memorable, it probably won't happen, and hear me say all this now and then, it actually happens. If you believe this, then I'm so sorry. You have been a victim of Dawnsbubble mega trolling. I thought Nichelle being bald would be an obvious indication that it was fake. I did not think anyone would actually fall for it. It's the last day without episodes, so let me have fun, okay? And here was the full image. So according to social media, not me, CBBC will be releasing all episodes of Season 2 on Saturday the 13th of January in the UK, which is like 5 hours after I post this video, so I thought it would be fun to predict on who's gonna win Season 2 of Total Drama Island: The Reboot. We all know from my prediction videos that I'm not the best when it comes to prediction. I had Nichelle as my winner. And look how it ended for her. She flopped and now is in my F tier. Now, that was because I thought logically from a director's perspective, so I tried to predict it in elimination order that made sense, but this is total drama, so nothing makes sense and anything can happen with some bullshit eliminations. However, when I predict things in my way and how I want things to happen, things go much better. Like, look at how I almost predicted the entire final 6 last season, how I thought Millie would make it far, even to the finale, and that Raj was gay.
What is the reason why everyone thinks we are gay?
Wait, we aren't gay?
Yes, I give myself a point there, even if it was just by accident. So I will go through every contestant that is left in the competition and see what's going on with them, how high of a chance they have to make it to the final, and how likely they are to win. But before I go through everyone individually, let's look at the campers that are left. As of now, we ended off with episode 8 where Z got eliminated, and the campers who are still in the running are Caleb, Damien, Julia, MK, Priya, Raj, and Wayne. What really stands out here is that most of the campers left are in a duo. We have MK and Julia, Raj and Wayne, and finally Priya and Caleb. This means that Damien is the only one without a duo, and I think that really benefits him as he can be seen more as an asset than a target, similar to Z in Season 1, where both sides wanted to recruit him to their side. My prediction is that in the final, only one from each duo can make it. I highly doubt that 2 from a duo will make it to the finale together. Sorry, MK Julia fans. Yes, it did happen last time with Millie and Priya, but technically they were against each other thanks to the notebook drama. So that's kind of how I think the finale will be like. So before we start, I just want to give away free icons that you can use as profile pictures. This is a thing I do on TikTok, and I occasionally post them here on YouTube as well on DeviantArt, but I thought it would be funnier to do it in a video. So this video's icons are Bald Nichelle because of that intro, the legendary Cassowary Z, who looks very scary, Winter Millie because it's still winter season, as well as Normal Girl cause that's what we are going to become after the season has aired, normal people. So screenshot if you like any of these and use them as your profile picture as you want. I have made over 40 icons, so be sure to collect them all. With that said, let's go through every camper that is left and analyze their winner potential. So let's start with MK, because I think she is most likely on the chopping block and might go home in the next few episodes. As we know from the leaked images, MK was in none of them. This can be a sign that she doesn't make it any further than episode 9, or she will surprise us all and suddenly be in the finale, which I highly doubt. I do think episode 9 is it for MK, but with an episode named Working K9 to 5 would make sense for MK to make it there too. MK is seen as a duo with Julia. If Julia manages to win immunity in the next episode, MK is in deep trouble, as she also has the cheater allegations against her, which makes her an easy boot if they can't vote for Julia. The thing is also that Julia works without MK. She is involved in so many things without MK, like the Z drama in episode 8. She is about to come in between Priya and Caleb, and she is invested in Damien's immunity idol. I don't see that for MK. She is not as flexible as Julia. And now that her cheater era is over, there hasn't been much going on with MK. So you don't really lose anything by eliminating her except some MK Julia crumbs, which of course will devastate the fans. Now, if MK miraculously somehow makes it to the finale, her chance of winning is almost as low as 0%. This is mainly because she is known as a cheater, which I don't think the writer wants to reward. You cheat and then you win is kind of a bad example to show kids. It's also so obvious she would not win, so it wouldn't be exciting if she was in the finale. Similar to Millie last season, I love Millie, but girl, we know she had no chance of winning, which kind of took some excitement from the finale. There are two ways I can see MK getting eliminated. One is simple, Julia wins immunity, and the other decides to vote out MK to weaken Julia. The other one is that someone else wins immunity, like Caleb, to survive another episode after being hated, so Julia becomes the initial target. But she somehow managed to shift the blame over to MK instead and basically backstabs her. I think this would be a better option because, let's be honest, MK would probably not care if Julia backstabbed her. She would totally think it was cool or something. Next, we have Priya. She won last season, and her chance of winning this season, too, is almost non-existent. Since I'm a Priya fan, I would be okay with it, but I know a lot of you would hate it. So if the writers actually decide to let Priya win again, they are not getting that season 3 we all want because the ratings will plummet down. So let's pray that Priya doesn't win again. As it looks now, Priya will probably go home in episode 10. We know that both she and Caleb will continue this drama until episode 10, where Julia somehow comes in between them and gets one of them out. In this case, it's most likely going to be Priya. Since she won last season and is a threat, she is a super easy boot to do with an easy reason. So I can imagine her elimination being something like a Bowie elimination, where Julia just explained to everyone in the confessional that Priya is a threat and needs to go. With Bowie going home pretty early, I kind of wanted Priya to stay a little longer because out of everyone else, she is the one most capable to take down Julia. I was afraid that with Bowie and Priya gone early, Julia would just dominate the season. But having Priya and Caleb still in the running gives her some competition when it comes to challenges. I do predict that she and Caleb will end on good terms and her elimination be like, you win this for us, and then they do a last kiss before she flies away. This will boost Caleb's confidence and motivation and can help him go a much further. Now we have to talk about the other scenario where Priya makes it to the finale. Again, if she were in the finale, I could see her with Caleb and one of the hockey bros, but she would automatically be third. We have had someone before achieving high placements on both seasons, and that was Zoe, so Priya could do this as well. The only way Priya makes it to the finale is if Julia is gone, because no one of the other contestant would vote for her out, except the hockey bros who are not smart enough unless something happens. Damien is Priya's friend, Caleb is her boyfriend, and MK is gone. However, this scenario has 0.1% chance of happening, and if it happens, I will do a face reveal, so please don't let this happen, Terry. Raj is the next person I want to discuss. I have kind of been struggling with who would make it further between him or Wayne. Initially, I thought Raj would win the season, especially after Bowie went home, and he said, "My boyfriend is a millionaire." And I just thought Raj had more going for him than Wayne, who was more of a support character, as well as the cheater versus a non-cheater would be an interesting finale with him going against Julia. But after seeing the 2 latest episodes, as well as the leaked image of the finale, my stand has kind of changed. But looking at my previous points and in a world where Priya and MK are eliminated, Wayne and Raj are the last duo standing and will become a target. I know a lot of you want Raj and Wayne both in the final against Julia, but let's be honest, that is going to be one of the most boring finales because it's going to be one of those friendships that always wins, and then one of them is going to sacrifice themselves for the other one so that person can win. Like, we want drama, real drama. So the reason I think Raj will go after is because Priya and MK are gone, and Priya probably told Caleb, you need to do anything to make it further. That includes teaming up with Julia. I can see both of them teaming up and targeting one of the hockey bros, and the reason I think Raj is going to be targeted is because he is much smarter than Wayne. He may still hold a grudge about what she did to Bowie, so he will never trust Julia. Meanwhile, Wayne can be easily manipulated. So by being the better player, I do think Raj has an increased chance of getting eliminated instead of Wayne if it would come down to those two, because who would want to vote out this guy? If we look at the episode images, I do think that Raj is being attacked by the dog. However, there is also a possibility that Raj got eliminated earlier and gave his jersey to Wayne. I'm not mad about this idea, and it sounds very possible, but that requires him to be eliminated earlier. And if that is the case, I can see his and MK's elimination being swapped, so he got booted in episode 9 and MK in 11. Now, there is an interesting thing about Raj, and that is if he makes it to the finale without Wayne, his chance of winning increases for me. Probably a guaranteed win. If he goes against Julia, he is totally going to win if you look from a storyline perspective because it fits. It's also a possibility that the image of Wayne in the finale is just being a helper to Raj. So Raj being in the finale is still a possibility, but it requires Wayne to go earlier than him, which I don't see. Now we have Caleb, and it's confirmed by the leaked images that he makes it all the way to episode 12. This kind of shocked me because I really thought he would get 5th place because of the foreshadowing in episode 1. Now, there was an elimination order going around social media a few days ago. I do not know how accurate it was, but it said that Caleb was going to win, which is possible. All he has to do is to survive the 12th episode, and he could be a contender to win. But I myself did not really believe it. Now, what makes me think that this won't happen is because he was the first boot last season, and going from last to first is a little bit weird to me. It for sure would be iconic and kind of amazing, but super weird, and I would not be happy if Caleb won. And this is coming from someone who finds him okay-ish. I do believe that if Priya goes in episode 10, he is going to team up with Julia because he, for some reason, is desperate for an alliance. And with Priya gone, Julia is the next best option, and they would be a really strong duo together. The only way I see him make it to the end and win is if maybe before Priya leaves, she gives him super good advice, and he spends the next episodes following everything she says, and maybe a victory will be the reward. Now, what I predict for him is that he is going to get eliminated in episode 12. Looking at the image, it looks like he is very tired or just too scared and lost because of his fear. If Julia wins immunity with Wayne and Damien both still in the game, I can see them easily voting out Caleb because he is a much stronger player. Can see the same argument if Julia isn't immune. She has pretty good reasoning on why Caleb should go rather than her. Now, what makes me think that this won't happen is because he was the first boot last season, and going from last to first is a little bit weird to me. It for sure would be iconic and kind of amazing, but super weird, and I would not be happy if Caleb won. And this is coming from someone who finds him okay-ish. Now we have the final 3, and I predict that it's going to be between Wayne, Julia, and Damien. So the person I think will come in 3rd will be Wayne. The leaked image of him in the finale boosted his chances of making it there for me. He is almost guaranteed a finale spot. Many people might think that he is just a helper, for example, to Raj, which does make sense, since Wayne being in the finale is so random. Like, I'm happy if he wins, but it just won't feel right. What I mean by that is that Wayne has kind of been in the background this season and has been more of a supporting character. Out of him and Raj has significantly been the main character. Wayne got his first solo confessional of season 2 in episode 8, and that's very late. For me, he does not have a winner edit, and he hasn't been that relevant all this season. The winner also has to be a good representative of the season, and I don't think Wayne fits that role, but that kinda is what's gonna take Wayne far. I think if Raj is gone for being the smarter one, that's gonna be Wayne's ticket to the finale, since no one will care about Wayne anymore with Raj gone. And this will let Wayne easily sneak into the finale, probably by luck since it's Wayne, but there is a chance that Wayne wants to get revenge for Raj, so he becomes like super smart or something. I don't know how that will work, but this is total drama, and they can somehow make it work. The same storyline would make sense for Raj, where he gets revenge for both Wayne and Bowie, but with the image leaked, I do lean more into Wayne making it. So my summary is that Wayne will probably make it to the finale, but will be the one getting 3rd place since I can't really see him win, and if he does, it will probably be by luck. I can also see the support from the peanut gallery. If he makes it against Julia, I can see him getting a boost from his friends, and it will make him win. But that is so boring and predictable, and we don't want that. Now let's look at the other scenario, which that Wayne gets eliminated before the finale. Now that would make sense if the image shows that he is just a helper. The only issue I have with this is that I can't really see that happen. I have set on my mind that Wayne is going to be in the finale, and it's going to be hard to change my mind until I actually see it. Finally, I want to talk about the hockey bros separated. In episode 1, they said that if they were separated, they would be a mess, and episode 8 was the first instance of them being apart. Raj was pretty okay and normal, and he did pretty well without Wayne. But Wayne was a whole mess and somehow drifted away on a raft in the ocean, but he still made it back. Just by looking at them from that point, Raj is more likely to survive on his own. Now let's talk about Julia. Yes, I have built her up as the final boss battle of the season, which makes sense because she is so powerful. Like, whatever she wants just happens. She is strong and strategic, and she is the ultimate player and has everything it takes to win. But is she gonna win? Well, that's the real question because she is a villain, and we know how Total Drama likes to do their villains. Dirty, cough cough sugar. So I will talk about Julia in 2 scenarios. One, which is the real world and things that are probably gonna happen. Then we have a Deluluan scenario, which is what I want. Now, what is Julia's plan to make it further? I can see her getting involved in so many people's business as she is about to get between Priya and Caleb, maybe the hockey bros, and even Damien, just so she can delay her elimination as long as possible. If she does that, she can easily make it to the finale, as well as winning immunity, which we all know she can do. So let's start with if she makes it to the finale, and I think she is almost guaranteed a finale spot since the merge happened. 1, because they want a female and a male finale, and going into merge, half of the ladies already got eliminated. So what were the options left? Well, we had last season's winner, a cheater that got caught, a girl who spends half the episode kissing a Swiftie, and then there is Julia. Out of those 4 options, Julia was easily going to be the one making the furthest out of the 4. We also have the build-up for her, so when Julia enters the finale, she is going to have so many people be mad at her because of what she has done. We have Nichelle, who is going to have a moment with Julia in the finale, Bowie, Priya, and Caleb, maybe even one of the hockey bros as well as Damien, if she somehow can mess with his idol and get him out, and maybe even MK if she backstabs her. We essentially have a classic Total Drama finale where everyone roots for the hero and no one roots for the villain. Now, just looking at the previous pattern, Bowie, who also was the antagonist last season, lost, so the same thing will happen with Julia, since villains never win unless the finale has 2 villains. I can see this, but that is very predictable, and we kind of want something that is less predictable and shocks the viewers, and that is when we move on to Delululand. In Delululand, we believe that Julia is going to win because she deserves it. Yes, she was in with the cheating, but she would still make it without the cheating because she is just so good. The cheating was only a thing for her to survive the team phase. Now it's over and no one cares about it anymore. Literally. But I do believe, with the determination Julia has shown, she deserves to win. The reason why Julia will win is because the episode is called Sore Losers, which literally is a play of sore losers. Now, this can mean that maybe Julia will be the sore loser, but I believe that Julia will win and everyone else is going to be the sore loser. This will make us have an unsatisfying finish with one of the worst winners ever in terms of justice. And that's why we are going to get another season to make up for that. Julia has also been a very big part of the season. This is basically her season if you erase every Priya and Caleb moment. Despite being a villain, Julia would be an amazing representative of the season because if you think about season 2 of the reboot, Julia is probably one of the first contestants you think of. As of now, I have written a whole page on why Julia deserves to win, and I can write 5 more if I have to. But yes, Julia will and is gonna win here in Delululand no matter what happens in the episode. Finally, we have Damien, and he is super interesting because there are so many possibilities with Damien. I think where we left off with Damien was just the beginning of the Damien domination era. He won immunity and has the immunity idol, so he is in a pretty good spot. I do believe he is going to end up in the finale with Julia, and there are a lot of things that have kind of led up to this point. Let's talk about Damien's position in the game. As of now, he is the only one without a duo partner. Some may argue that Z was his, which I can see, but they weren't as tight as the other ones. This puts him in a very good spot because he can be the deciding vote, especially in episode 9, where the votes may be split into a 2-2-2 or a 3-3 with Damien as the deciding factor. Where would he go is the question. It looked like he would go toward Priya's side, but now he is mad at Caleb, so that's kind of iffy. He does not trust or like MK Julia, so the only option is Raj and Wayne, which sounds possible, especially when Wayne called Damien his number 2, which I had no idea was a thing. But I can see a Damien and Wayne duo happening, especially if Raj leaves early. Finally, here is why I think Damien will win Total Drama Island in a non-Delululan version. Julia is the ultimate final boss of Season 2. She has shown to be too powerful, with or without cheating, and there is going to need to be one person who is going to take her down. At first, it was going to be Bowie, but now with him gone, no one really cares about Julia anymore except one person, and that is Damien. Damien has shown some signs of being aware of Julia. For example, in episode 5, after Julia revealed what she did to Nichelle, Damien said that they should never let him cross her. This indicates that he will never trust her and probably be the only one that won't fall for her manipulation. As I said, Julia has been shown to be super powerful this season, both when it comes to strategy and challenges, and we all know the finale always ends with a challenge. Damien has beaten Julia multiple, first in the jousting challenge, technically in the baking challenge as well, and he scored higher than her in episode 8, so the score is kind of 3-0 in favor of Damien. This shows that he is able to beat Julia, and I think he will. Now, there is also a foreshadowing moment with Damien, and that is in episode 8. He has a confessional where he says that he is much better than anyone else at falling down mountains. The final episode is going to be called Sore Losers. So they are probably going to soar in the sky, so maybe this is foreshadowing to him not being able to fly and just fall. Will this make him lose or win? Who knows? So my summary is that Damien is going to win Season 2 in the real world, but Julia is going to win in Delululand. So that was my prediction for the remainder of the season. These are the last few hours we have until the episodes are out, so please tell me what you guys think in the comments and who is your winner. Hopefully, we will get an ending everyone is satisfied with. I have enjoyed the season and can't wait for Season 3 if it ever happens. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on TikTok and do all that other shit. Bye!